Joining me now, Sabrina Singh, former Deputy Press Secretary at the Pentagon. It's good to see you, Sabrina. Lots to get into. So, first of all, were you surprised to see military transport planes in the deportation effort?
Look, what you're seeing with our military forces is they are being used in support of DHS and Border Patrol as we are surging troops to the border to assist in these efforts. It's really at the discretion of the lead agency, and apparently DHS has identified that our aircraft can be used to help transport migrants back. Look, is this a good use of resources? We've already seen from the past, late last year, migration numbers going down at the border. And again, to surge, an additional 1,500 troops to the border, you're pulling those troops out of training and going to impact readiness in the long term. So is this a good use of our military forces and their assets? That's what this administration has determined. Don't necessarily agree with that path, as we've seen migration numbers clearly going down in the last year, but that is their decision that they've made.
So one of the president's executive orders sent 1,500 troops to the border with plans for a surge of up to 10,000. But there are laws on how active duty military can be used on U.S. soil. So how involved can the military get? Can they make arrests? Can they join ICE raids? What can they actually do while at the border other than, as you've described, be in support of actions?
I think that's the most important point here, is that right now the U.S. military is being used in support of those efforts. And we saw that in the statement issued by the acting Secretary of Defense before Pete Hegseth was confirmed earlier or yesterday, but sworn in today. Look, there are very strict laws regarding how the U.S. military is used domestically, and they cannot be used in an enforcement capacity. There can be carve-outs at times, but again, that's not the role of the U.S. military. The U.S. military is there really to protect our interests overseas, to work with our allies and partners. And at a time like this, where you have the ongoing war in Ukraine, you have the crisis still waging in the Middle East. And then, of course, everyone is always keeping our eye on what China is going to do. There are a lot of crises and issues that are going to confront this administration. And by pulling forces away from their missions and sending them to the border for something that really doesn't require their support, that is going to impact the force long term.
Okay, so I want to drill down to that. When you say
Sure.
They can't be enforced for law enforcement, what can they absolutely not do? Give us an example.
It really comes to the authorities of how they're being used. There is a law called Posse Comitatus that bars active duty troops from domestic law enforcement without authorization. So things like arrest, you're not going to see, our U.S. military going down and kicking in doors. They are there in support of DHS and Customs and Border Patrol. So what, like you saw with flight capacity, helping set up logistics points, things like that are more in a logistical support way and less in the law enforcement way that you're seeing the Customs and Border Patrol do in their usual capacity.
Okay. So Pentagon officials Monday took down a portrait of now retired Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. The Times quotes a U.S. official saying, quote, the White House ordered it removed. Sabrina, how unusual is this? And what are you hearing about how folks at DOD are reacting? Is it being seen as anything but a petty move by Donald Trump?
How unusual is this? I think there's certainly many things that are unusual about how this administration is already coming in, but, we shouldn't be surprised. I think Donald Trump came in and said he was going to go after those who stood against him. It's really unfortunate. Chairman Milley is someone that served in uniform for over 40 years, served this country faithfully. Taking down his portrait in the hallway of the Joint Chiefs, I'm not sure what type of message that sends to the force. There's a lot of crises all around the world right now. The incoming secretary is going to have to confront those head on, going to have to brief the president on how our forces are being used, how our force posture needs to change. Taking down a portrait, other than being symbolic, I'm not really sure what that adds or how that makes our force more lethal and capable around the world.
Have you heard anything from any of your former Pentagon colleagues about how this is being perceived inside the DoD?
Look, of course, it's going to hit morale, but I think you have men and women in uniform in our civilian workforce that are not going to let that distract from their mission. They're going to keep doing the work every single day. I know there are folks right now in that building continuing on with the mission that they're assigned, because all around the world, they are needed at all times. So they're not going to let this distract from that. It's unfortunate, but they're going to continue to carry on.
Pete Hegseth, now sworn in as Secretary of Defense, confirmed in that 50-50 tie vote that was broken by Vice President Vance. One of the president's executive orders this week puts an end to diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, which Hegseth also opposed. How do you expect this to impact military operations?
Well, look, I think that remains to be seen. The incoming secretary is going to, be taking a look at some of these programs. I think what's really important here is when we're talking about these DEI initiatives, I'm curious on exactly what that means to them. If you're talking about an hour of training versus, the 80 hours of rifle work or marksmanship that an average soldier has to go through, I think let's put things in perspective. But again, this is a promise that the Trump administration came in on, and they're going to have to address that throughout the force. I think what's important here is our men and women in uniform are the best there is in the world. And so they're going to continue to stay focused on that mission and not let that detract from from their mission.
I want to just get an opinion from you, given your position as the former deputy press secretary at the Pentagon. You have watched what it takes to be the Secretary of Defense here in the DoD. Do you think Pete Hegseth has what it takes to do the job?
Well, look, I think something that's very concerning is how he ran some of his nonprofits and businesses. I mean, the Secretary Hegseth now is responsible for a workforce of nearly 3 million people and a budget of nearly $1 trillion. If past is any indication of what the future could hold, mismanaging funds and American taxpayer dollars, that's very serious. I think senators on the Hill had their concerns. I think there are concerns certainly that I have. But look, he is now the Secretary of Defense. He has a lot of work ahead of him. And I hope that he relies on the civilian workforce and those who are in uniform that know that building, that have served, a very long time in the military to help guide him through some of the challenges that he's going to face.
We will be watching very closely with your help as well. Sabrina Singh, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.